And I'm really proud. Anuradha and Gayatri, it's just been wonderful teaching you and knowing you and how you have just been working for this great art form, and your love and passion, how you have, created a kind of a niche for yourself and trying to help others who are in the same space as you. I'm really, really proud, and keep going. And I'm really surprised at your energies, how much you dedicate apart from your work, busy work and family life, and you are able to give so much time for this particular development of Soham. Keep going, and I'll be on the side just with my blessing and feeling very proud. Very, very pushy.
Why do you say that?
Not in a bad way, not in a bad way. They were so focused. That's what I meant to say. Pushy in a sense that they were just focused, and they were just like, you just give it to them anything and they just lap it up. That's what I meant by pushy, not in a bad way. In a way. When they are 30 plus and wanting to do something, they are totally committed to the idea of learning. It is not like younger people getting pushed by parents. Anu or Gayatri come to me. I know that they really want to dance, and they are looking for that opportunity to, gather, this great what this great art has to offer. And Anu, when she contacted me, I thought, I never felt it was strange for an adult to dance, that, I can ask for things to be done from this person rather than children trying to adjust to them, And so I was trying to throw things at them, and then, yes, they loved the way, I loved the way the work went out. I'm really fortunate, to have such committed people learning and then actually working for the progress of art form, and progress to do this festival, which giving opportunity for so many others who were like them, and, searching for something greater in their life. And I've considered myself really lucky to have them. Their total sheer dedication has brought them to this level of thinking of others to be, doing something as a second chance in life. I'm really happy that Deepa is supporting, because this is a very big adventure as far as I can see, because it takes a lot. And I'm so, in awe of, Deepa to have supported these two with their, well, I don't want to say, but I'll say it, crazy idea. Looking at all the, work which goes in the background, it is just a big undertaking. And, the time limits, everybody is different from all around the world, and, to gather information and to put it together, it's a very big, undertaking. And well done to three of you, and thank you for making me part of it.
When I saw Anu and Gayatri, Anuradha and Gayatri, I think they were very upset about the way the world had seen the 30 plus. And they were speaking from experience. So, and they had a lot of it, because it looked like while the people were looking at the young people, young students and performers, and then the seniors and the masters, where were the 30 plus? So that was their experience, and they were responding to it, reacting to it. And that's exactly how I met both of them. And then I said, well, if others are not going to give us a platform, why don't we create our own platform? And you know it. So why don't you just build on that? I think at that point when we started, one of the biggest things that stops all of us is, oh my God, the job is so big. Where do we start? And it doesn't matter. We are so small in this big ocean. How are two dots or drops going to ever matter? But then the fact is now, 4 years down the lane, I really think those two drops did matter. And even if you cannot address the ocean as a whole, let's just do our two bits. And that's where it started. And now, on hindsight, I think it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And the two of them complemented each other very well. I think Anu dreams a lot, rises up, soars up to the sky before even you realize, and promptly Gayatri brings her down to the ground and brings her down to logistics, reality. And I think both of them really complement that aspect very well, which is what made Soham very, concrete and tangible. So Soham was born out of the idea of second chance, which Gayatri and Anu did conceive, and it's an ideology more than an organization that they lead. And I think there's a whole big community that's part of it, even without them realizing or consciously, either which way. So I think the family was already there because the yearning was already there. So it was just a question of bringing it together and making it more accessible and tangible. And so the first festival, which was 2 years before, it was scary for both of them because that was the first time they were actually bringing things down to action. Passions, ideas, dreams to action. And no one knew how it would go. But I think it was beautiful that they just brought their best to it. And I think what led them and what pushed them was the fact that they were doing their best. I think that was the strength on which everyone were going forward. And it was very well appreciated from the feedback, as we can see, because the purpose came out. And today, as we are looking at the second festival, 2 years down the line, I think what has happened is there's a lot more clarity in both their minds as to what is it that we want to put it out there, how do we want it, and very importantly, though they always knew why we want it out there. And I think that clarity has given a lot more ease for the participants to respond as well. And hence, the festival definitely, I think, has organically taken the next very strong step. I'm hoping it will be seen when the festival unfolds itself.
When we started Soham 1, it was more, we were two dreamers, making a dream into reality. And I think with that came the fear, the trepidation, the excitement, the overzealous approach to it, adrenaline, everything. As a young dancer would approach dance as well. That's why the theme is what it is at this point. Because both of us our relation to art has also matured very, very significantly. From it being, adrenaline rush and the bright lights and the standing, after the attention that we receive, I think it's moved towards the point of where calmness, grounding, a bit more of it is now much more of a prayer. There is a lot of appreciation for the art form itself because we think it's personally contributed a lot to our life. It's an anchor point for us, I would say. In all the difficulties that surround, whatever happens on a day-to-day life, this is one point where we can step into and forget absolutely everything around us. I think there is a lot of appreciation for the art form. And we found during the COVID times as well, it contributed very, very significantly to our happiness, to our mental well-being. And that's why we thought it's absolutely apt to think about how art enriches our life. And that became actually the theme of Soham itself. Because our relationship also with art has matured. When people used to say it's a prayer for us, I used to think, what does it mean? Oh, I actually understand. It's a moment of calmness, stillness, a point where, you feel at peace with yourself when you're observing somebody on the stage, when someone else performs as well, you're able to partake equal happiness out of it if we were performing ourselves. And I think that's where the relationship has absolutely matured and gone forward, and actually brought us into the theme of Soham itself as to how art enriches us. Anu, do you want to add something to this?
Just seeing it from where it came from, season 1 to 3, I think what started off as a brash statement, that's how season 1 came. Oh, they're not giving us opportunities. This is COVID era. Everyone is going on to the online platform. And even then, we're not getting out opportunities. It really started like a knee-jerk reaction. I'm quite overwhelmed with the response this time, because from that statement, it is almost becoming a cause. So whilst with season 1, we just said something and said, here, this is the proof of it. Season 2, I feel the sense of responsibility to not project what we think. Season 1 was all about what we thought and how we should be heard. But season 2, the definitive change that I see is the need to get the others' voices heard. Maybe through our words, but their voices. Because what just started off as, if you say, addressing ageism in our arts, has now suddenly become so multi-layered that there are issues and barriers starting from our own self. And the first point is recognizing that. When we said others didn't give opportunities, how many times have we reflected on what we have done towards that? Okay, maybe in Gayathri and my case, we did seek, maybe, but that's not necessarily true. The number of barriers that we have physically, mentally, and to keep getting a no every single time, you can't just motivate yourself again and again. So the barriers starting from ourselves to then going out into the real world and battling, each step. It is there in all professions. It is there in all art forms. All artists face it. But maybe where we thought we were also slightly disadvantaged because of whatever we've already said. So, but now it isn't that. It looks like there are so many other issues that have come through this. And by issue, I don't mean it in a negative sense. Perspectives, let's put it that way. So many other perspectives. People are defining themselves through art, but more importantly, they're also defining the art through themselves. And this is why Soham specifically truly celebrates the power of self. It wasn't nothing in Soham, and I'm very proud to say that as a team, nothing in Soham we have done is just for the fun of it, just for the glamour, just because the words sound cool or sensational. Every word, and I have 200% confidence in this, every word has been thought through. It may not be the right thing from somebody else's perspective, but the intention was 200% right. We could have put it in better ways, we could have said it in better ways, that doesn't matter. But every word that is there has been thought through. And therefore, this is a power, celebrating the power of self. Because through Soham 1, we realized we actually got this done, and it's a very humiliating thing, yet to just go on trying and not succeeding, whatever success is. Okay, but at the same time, it's a very humbling thing when you go out to try and make a point and you come back having made another point to yourself. And so the other shift with Soham 2 is the fact that it truly was not anymore about ourselves. Gayathri pointed it out the last time, saying we were looking around for opportunities for us, and now how are we giving opportunities to the others? I think that does come with the clarity in intent. We don't have to go and dance out there. We would like to, but we don't have to, because there is a bigger cause here. So now suddenly from another festival, it has gone on to becoming a cause. I don't want to limit ourselves with just Soham. Soham is an instrument. The bigger picture is second chance. And second chance has a lot of connotations for both of us who are, you know, in the middle of many things, be it in our professional careers, be it at home as mothers, wives, homemakers. We are at very significant points, you know, impressionable children, surrounded by peers who are all, you know, in a race of their own. And so a second chance is pivotal in knowing, you know, you cannot deem yourself as a success or a failure by the first attempt. I'm not saying go out there and be okay with failing, but try. What you shouldn't give up on is trying. And it scares us both as parents to children at very different ages that sometimes we think at 20, life is over. You know, what are you going to do with the rest 40 years of your life? So that way I see Soham as an instrument. It's an instrument that has worked twice. Well, hopefully this time it will work. The sheer scale at which it has expanded, be that the number of auditions we got or the places from where auditions have come, is a huge statement to saying really people are out there and they've opened up to absolute strangers such as us, hoping that we will spread their cause. Now that's a huge thing to take on. Would Soham be enough to carry that work on? I don't know, but certainly it is a starting point. And certainly it has increased our conviction in trying to do this. And from year to year, we are growing in numbers and strength. So I don't see this ending. I don't know if it will be the same format, the same texture and things like that. But I surely know it will be bigger and richer.